He looks like he owns credit. Oh my gosh. Man like Arthur from Batman.
Namaste, dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola, good morning, good morning, good morning, ciao, privet. How are you? Hope you're well. It's an important day today, 3rd of August, 2023. Hasn't it flown by? Wettest July in 14 years. Did you see my post on socials, by the way, with the ear coming out the wall? Quite spooky. If you haven't seen it, do make sure you go to Facebook or Insta and have a look at our post there. Just the weirdest thing, this human ear actually physically in a wall on a property I saw. Just thought, how extraordinary, very strange. What's going to happen with interest rates today? Well, it's widely held that they're going to put them up again. The Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of England, independent of government, are deciding whether interest rates need to go up. And they're looking at the inflation numbers in order to make that decision. And the lower the inflation numbers, the more likely they are to hold or reduce rates. The higher the numbers are, the more likely they are to increase rates. And how it looks right now is we're looking at another rate rise. That certainly seems to be the expectation. Let me read you the latest headlines. It says here, this is a Daily Mail article this morning, with the Bank of England set to decide on whether to increase rates again today. Most analysts expect the MPC to raise the base rate from 5% to 5.25. However, the rate setters, a third of rate setters believe they could opt to increase the rate to 5.5%. That would be another 0.5 basis points or 0.5%. That would be huge. Let's hope they don't do that. And this would be the 14th consecutive meeting where they've raised rates in order to drive down inflation. Altaf Kassam of State Street Global Advisors believes the rate rises will climb by at least another 50 basis points before peaking, suggesting this would be best in 2.25 percentage point increments. Althea Spinozia, a strategist at Saxo Markets, said the economic backdrop calls for another 0.5% hike, but the MPC may opt against doing so. Be interesting. I mean, I actually think that they should be holding those rates now. I think, they started to hike them too late, but the effect and the timing of this, we see it really because we're at the coalface. We see it firsthand, people looking and, what's going on with them. But for many people, when they're looking at the analysis and the numbers, it's not filtered through yet. And these interest rate rises take a long time to filter through. So I think they've done enough and they needn't do any more. And they should start holding rates now. But I've got a feeling we're in for more pain still. And that's really frustrating. But we are where we are, so to speak. So what to do about it? Well, tomorrow we've got coming on to the podcast Nicola McKenzie from DM Mortgages. And they are a fantastic mortgage broker to talk all about the rate rises and what you can do if you have a mortgage, what the best course of action might be for you. And that's going to go live from our StreamYard platform right here. You'll see it. And also we'll be recording it for the podcast as well. She's a really interesting lady, lots of knowledge. And firsthand, you'll hear from her what she thinks you should be doing if you're having difficulty with your mortgage payments, if you're looking to remortgage, and what your next step should be. So really looking forward to chatting to her tomorrow live right here on this show. Now, apart from that, interesting article in the Telegraph saying banks are profiting from homeowners who won't switch mortgage deals. And they're saying that the banks have made an extra £1.2 billion from people sticking on the rate they're on when they could move to a better rate when their fixed rate comes to an end. And this is, again, why it'd be good to speak to Nicola tomorrow, because she can give us some more tips on the best way of doing this. But the research from Atom Bank has found that Lloyds cashed in the most from customers rolling on to standard variable rates, which shot up after the mini budget, generating 900 million. On the highest rate at 8.49%. 8.49%, that's crazy, isn't it? And that represented 7% of its revenue and nearly a fifth of its profit after tax. HSBC, NatWest and Santander made a lesser 300 million between them. So there's a lot of profiteering going on there, and it doesn't seem right in such tough times, does it? Really think that something should be done there. And I also think it should be the bank's obligation to write to you and say, look, you're going to go onto standard variable. It's not best value. Here are your alternatives. I think that's what should be happening here, but it's not. It's the other way around. We're having to chase our tails and chase them. But more on that tomorrow. Apart from that, did a Homes Under the Hammer yesterday, so apologies for not being here for you. And that was an interesting one. It was a development site in Streatham where somebody's bought a site, and this particular site has no planning whatsoever, and they've paid top dollar for it. So I'm not sure it'll ever go live. Be interesting to see, because obviously if they don't develop the site and they just sell it on, there's nothing much to talk about. It's only if they get permission. And it's one of those sites you think, well, what would they get? Because it's surrounded by other houses. Maybe they could dig down and build something. There's not much space in terms of square footage in the plot itself. There is no planning whatsoever. Huge risk. It's a gutsy risk someone has taken there. But we'll see. So let's see what happens today. We'll be back tomorrow, as I say, with the news on the rate rises. It's probably going to be bad news, so brace yourselves. Apart from that, We have some space today and tomorrow if you're thinking of selling or renting, to come see you or give us a call so we can chat through your particular circumstances. We're always happy to do that, no obligation. And the number here is 0208 679 8601. Drop me an email, ken@jamesalexander.com, or just drop into the office, whatever suits you. Thanks for watching as always. Look after yourselves, your family, and friends. Ciao.